We're officially in the final few weeks of 2025, and I don't know about you guys, but Dennis and I have definitely been in reflection mode already. We're already in that phase, and in general, we think it's really important to look back on your year and reflect.
It really is.
Yeah, and both in general, on all your different goals and accomplishments, we're all about that, but you guys already know we're of course here specifically to talk about our money reflections, so that's what the focus of this video is gonna be. Now, we actually like to split this exercise up into 3 different parts. So the first part, what we're doing today, is closing out our budgets, so looking at all the spending that we did in 2025. The next part is also looking back on how much money we made, saved, and invested in 2025. And then the last part is looking forward, so figuring out what we want to do differently and just what our overall plan is for 2026. So like I said, today is part 1 where we look back on all of our spending over the last 12 months. We can compare how we did with our spending compared to our budget goals, so per different categories. And we'll also be able to compare how much each of us spent compared to each other, which is kind of just for fun and to help keep each other accountable to our goals. But it's always interesting to see. And you guys, if you've been following along in years past, you know that there's been differences in last years.
There has been.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes too. Now, actually closing out our budgets and doing this exercise is pretty easy for us because we already track our spending all year long using our budget tracker. So we already have all the data, it's accumulating throughout the year, and that's by category, so per budget category and also per month. A lot of good information in there. Now we're just getting to actually go ahead and analyze that data and make it fun and a little comparison game.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to use our budget tracker or template too, it's free. You can definitely do that. We highly recommend. It's a really good template.
It's a game changer, by the way. Absolute game changer.
It is. I like that. So we'll have it linked down below. It's always linked down below in the description box. We'll also put it on screen for you. We're also making some updates to it again for this year coming up. So for 2026, we've gotten some questions about that. So those updates are coming. If you've already signed up for our budget template in the past, you'll get a direct email from us with the new template. So you don't have to do anything. When it's ready, it'll be sent to you. Okay, so let's kick this off with our money facts first before diving into our spending results.
So first and foremost, when it comes to our income, we make $70,000 a year. So that's $4,459.91 per month each. And really quick context here, we're both self-employed. So this is us working full-time for ourselves and actually paying ourselves from our business.
So that's how it works from an income perspective.
Yeah.
Now, from that monthly income, so the $4,459.91 per month each, of that, our goal is to invest $2,000 a month every month. So that's like our baseline saving and investing goal is to invest $2,000 a month each. Savings-wise,
we actually save $0 a month. Now, that's because our emergency funds are already full. So the bulk of our money is actually being directed towards our investments.
Yeah, that's our main baseline goal for us. Now, on the spending side of things, that's what we do with the other $2,459.91 a month. Our goal is to spend from that. You will see as we go over our results for our spending this year that sometimes we go over that amount. I think for me, pretty much every month this year I went over that amount, so a lot of spending, spoiler there.
We'll see how it goes.
But either way, if we do overspend, that just comes from a buffer amount that we have in our checking account, and sometimes we have to top up that buffer too at the end of the year. So we'll talk more about that. I also want to briefly mention that we split our fixed expenses, so rent, internet, utilities, and then also groceries, which isn't fixed, but we share that too, 50-50. So you'll see that as we get into the results right now.
By the way, and before we forget, we wanted to mention that we're hosting a live kickoff call for everyone who wants to join our course, Simple Investing for Canadians, before the new year.
Simple investing is really for anyone who wants to level up their investing. So even if you've already started investing, but if you're not sure that you're doing the right things for you specifically, then this would definitely be a good fit for you.
On the live kickoff call, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a full intro of the course, a live Q&A session, and a goal setting session so that we know where you wanna be when the course is done.
And you have until the new year to sign up if you want to be included in the kickoff call. So make sure you sign up at the link in the description box or on screen, and hopefully we'll see you there.
Make sure you sign up before the new year. Okay, so let's kick things off by talking about the expenses that we split 50-50. So these are the expenses that are the exact same every single month, and that's gonna be our rent, internet, utilities, and also our groceries. Okay, so if we start off with our rent, we actually spent a total of $11,780 each. That's a total, by the way. And that went up from about $970 to $990 each in June. So that was a bump up in our rent from our landlord. Now, internet-wise, we actually spent a total of $476.24 each. And that also went up from $36 to $40 in April. Now, we're going to say utilities?
I was going to say it also would have went up more if we didn't call and negotiate to try and keep the price the same. It ended up going up $4 a month each, but at least it was relatively the same instead of doubling in price.
It's really annoying that they make you do this every year, but if you don't, it's just going to keep going up.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to our utilities, we spent a total of $352.09 each. So that's not including December, and that was about an average of $32 each per month. Now, groceries wise, we actually spent $4,090.90. And that's also not including December. And that was an average of $371 per month each.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising, I guess, or a lot more than what we had budgeted for.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you guys have been watching our videos, you know, last year, so 2024, we budgeted $300 a month each on groceries.
Yeah.
And we were a bit over that. So we ended up upping it this year to kind of reflect that upping the overage that we had on a monthly basis. So we upped it to a budget goal of $325 per month each this year. And then we obviously still went over that by quite a bit, actually, $371 versus $325. And it'll probably be about the same overall average wise once we include December. So that was really interesting for us to see. I will say though, I feel like it's mostly contributed just based on the fact that grocery prices go up.
We've definitely seen food prices go up.
Yeah, so there's gonna be that natural increase on like a consistent basis over time. Other than that too, like we've continued our trend of even cooking even more and eating more at home year over year.
That's true.
Overall though, like we're really happy with our grocery spending. We're extremely intentional. We have very, very, very minimal grocery waste.
Yeah.
We do Costco stock ups that make sense. Keep in mind, we also include all of our cleaning expenses in our grocery budget too, but that's the same. So like the difference year over year wouldn't change because we did that last year as well. Anyways, I feel like there's not really much that we plan on taking action and changing for next year. We'd love to have the average be a little lower. And again, maybe we'll update our budget categories to like $350 a month or something to reflect the fact that this is just happening. So we can
I think we'll have to.
Yeah, I think that makes it probably $350. We'll see. We'll report back on the official amount when we look forward for next year, but that's what happened this year.
Okay, so now that's it for our 50/50 expenses. Now we're actually going to get into like the really fun stuff, and that's all of our variable expenses. So basically what the categories are going to be that we're going to be looking at and comparing today are going to be restaurants, coffee shops, public transportation, Ubers, car rentals, healthcare appointments, personal care, gifts and donations, clothing, travel, subscriptions, fitness, other, home, and engagement.
Ooh, I like that one. So by the way, when we go through these, we're going to share each of our individual totals, and then we can also kind of compare and see who spent more per category too. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with restaurants. That's our first category to compare. For me this year, I spent a total of $2,536.78 on restaurants this year.
Wow.
And that also works out to be a monthly average of about $211.40 a month. So
How do you feel about that?
yes, I have mixed feelings on this for a few different reasons. First of all, I will say if I'm reflecting back on my restaurant eating experience this year, we live in Toronto, there's so much good food here, and we both really love going out to do both new restaurants, try new things, but also we have some amazing go-to favorites in the city that we love that we couldn't get anywhere else.
It's true.
So I feel like it was a good balance of both. We tried a lot of new restaurants this year too. There's like a lot of good ones that come to mind in my memories as well. So from an experience perspective, no regrets. Also, it's my second full year in a row where I did $0 on takeout, Uber Eats, DoorDash, any delivery of any kind. Yes.
We have to clap for that.
Yes, we really do. 2023, if you go back or if you've been here, I spent more than double this number still on food for the year, specifically eating out and takeout, not groceries.
Yeah.
So it brought down substantially last year. This year, though, I'm over what I did last year. So last year, my monthly average was about $190 a month. Now I'm at about $211 a month. It's gone up. It doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but keep in mind my budget goal is actually $150 a month. So
Quite the difference.
Yeah, so I don't really like the upwards trend of being over budget there. So I definitely have some more reflecting to do on if next year do I want to increase my budget goal to like $175 or $200 a month instead, or do I want to be really on myself to bring things down? I don't know. I don't feel bad about this amount. That's part of it, but I think I kind of have to look at my overall budget and is there something I can take from somewhere else or if it even makes sense. So I'll report back.
I feel like if you're eating at good restaurants that you actually like and it's not just straight fast food, you feel a little bit better about it, right?
Yeah, and it's all intentional too. So we'll see. And we have some new favorites this year too that it's not like I'd want us to stop eating at in the future. So anyway, that's my total for restaurants this year. I have a feeling that you are lower than me this year. You were higher than me last year, by the way.
That is, I forgot about that. So
So tell me your number
news
though.
to me. My number is $1,633.94.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure for me, my average is around $134. I think my budget amount is probably what around the same amount as yours, like
Yeah.
150.
Yeah, I don't remember what yours is off the
below
top, but-
budget, I think, and that's good. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to hear. I enjoyed myself. It's not like I didn't go out to restaurants. I think that's a good amount of money to spend.
Yeah. And I feel like we have a pretty good flow of like who pays for what when we go out to eat too. I just tend to have those extra like, come on, I really want to do another one this month. And that's what ups my budget a bit. But we'll see. We'll see for next year.
True.
Okay, so the next category is coffee shops. I spent a total of $547.96 on coffee shops this year. What was yours?
Mine was $220.09.
That sounds like so much less.
You're up.
Yeah, I spent more. I will say though, I'm under budget for this category. It was interesting. We also kind of did an exercise of comparing to last year too for each of us to see. So I'm under budget. Last year I spent about an average of $40 a month in coffee shops. This year it's an average of about $45 a month, but I budget $50 a month. So I'm under budget. By the way, same like blurb here too. Coffee shops is not for my daily coffee. It's for once a week. We'll go to the coffee shop, grab some like teas or coffees, maybe some pastries. It's like a nice intentional experience, but I still like to split it out from restaurants too because it's a totally different experience than going out to eat, in my opinion.
It is.
Yeah. So same with you. I feel like you were also under budget. You put less in your budget for this experience.
Yeah, I could do without the coffee shops.
Well, you don't even drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee. Very good point.
Yeah. Okay, so next category, public transportation. I spent a total of $509.90 on public transportation this year. What about you?
I spent $531.52. So I'm higher on this category, slightly.
Slightly. I do like that though. Although it's kind of marginal for this because public transportation just lands where it lands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we budget, I think we do it similarly, about $50 a month.
I feel like there's times where I double paid.
Oh, you think so?
Definitely.
What do you mean?
Like I made a mistake and or something was off with my card.
That's so annoying.
My transport card.
Yeah, we basically just auto reload our card here and there though. We use it for streetcars, subway, getting home to see our families, stuff like that. So no issues with this category at all. Sticking with the transportation theme though, next category is Ubers. I feel like I'm over on this one. I spent a total of $466.94 on Ubers this year.
I spent $331.78. So under, which is good, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna say
I don't remember taking that many Ubers this year.
I feel like for the most part, if we're Ubering, it's like very situational.
Yeah.
It's a timing thing.
Bad weather.
Yeah, bad weather. We don't plan to take Ubers. Like we don't budget for it in our budget. This would just come out of our other category whenever it's necessary.
Yeah.
So it's a category that for me, I don't know how you feel about it. I feel annoyed when I see Uber expenses that are over like $10 for the month. But I also know for the most part it's pretty intentional. Although I would like to bring this down a bit more next year. Like I feel like maybe I was a bit back to being more quick to Uber this year.
True.
Yeah, but you're pretty good at not being. Okay, next one is a really interesting one. It's new this year. We didn't have this category in the past. We'd spend on it sometimes, but we didn't have its own like line item.
We finally decided to add it to our budgets.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll be interested in this. It's the car rental category.
Yeah.
So for some quick context, we don't own a car. We live downtown in the city. For the most part, we don't need it. But here and there, when we do, we rent a car. I spent a total of $1,040.74 in this category this year.
Yeah.
What about you?
I spent $1,564.33.
Yeah.
And what I found really interesting about this one is that when we combined how much we spent on car rental, it still works out to being significantly cheaper than us actually owning a car.
Yeah. Maybe we can put some of the math on screen or something too, but we're talking about it. It's still like an average of max $200 a month. And this includes all the expenses, by the way, guys. This is like the car rental, the gas, any parking, everything that's involved in that experience on this. So as much as it's more than we spent in the past, which we did on purpose so that we could see our family more, go do certain things and experiences. So it's definitely worth it to us, and it's way less than purchasing a car. So
Definitely.
For us, that's kind of our reflection, is that we're happy with this amount, and we'll track it again next year and see how things go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next category is massage and physiotherapy. This year I spent a total of $1,615.90. For me, there's no thoughts on this really. I get one massage a month. I actually am not going to be able to go in December this month because I'm getting tonsil surgery.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so because of that, I'm not getting one month, so I'm under budget. But in general, it's typically $146.90 a month. Even, that's what I spend. What about you?
For me, I spent $0 in this category. There was a point in time where I was going to physio. I'm not going to physio anymore. So this category, for the most part, until the foreseeable future, is going to remain at $0.
Good for the budget, I guess.
Yeah.
So next, healthcare category 1 is dentist appointments. Again, we're self-employed. Dentist comes out of our personal budget. We go twice a year. So for me, because of that, I have a total of $572 spent on the dentist this year. What about
I
you?
spent a total of $754 on the dentist, so slightly higher. And I think it's slightly higher because I also do see a specialist. So I think there's always an extra charge in there for me.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
yeah.
standard for a typical year. Okay, next up is personal care. Personal care, this one can really fluctuate. So this year I spent a total of $2,440.21 in the
Wow.
personal care category. I just saw your number and it looks so much lower. Okay, share it.
I spent $411.46.
That's
I
so
feel like
crazy.
there's not normally this big contrast in personal care between the two of us.
I don't think so
What did you
either.
spend on?
Well, now I'm trying to remember. Okay, wait. Let me give me a second. Let me look at what I spent last year in personal care because I'd love to compare here. Last year I spent about $1,900. So there is a difference.
That's
Not-
a big difference.
It is a big difference,
It's a
huh?
big difference.
$500.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think this through. A few things. I typically never get my nails done. This year, for when Dennis proposed, I got my nails done in advance of that too. That's automatically already a few $100s
Yeah.
more than I normally don't spend. I did a really big, oh my gosh, this is actually really funny. I did a big shampoo and conditioner stock up recently, and I didn't realize online when I was ordering that the conditioner bottles I ordered weren't personal. They're for like a salon, so they're huge. So I spent a few $100s there. I think stuff like that. I don't know. I'm going to
Okay.
try and be more intentional next year,
Sure.
but everything will be used. So I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah.
How was yours so low? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No idea. I bought the regular basics.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm
The
gonna have to
necessary.
evaluate next year because $2,000 more is too much for me. Okay, more to come. I will update you at some point. Okay, next category is a big one for this year. It's gifts and donations. This is the highest I've spent by a lot. I think I'm double what I spent last year in this category. I spent a
Same.
total of $3,674.91 this year.
Wow.
What about you?
I spent $3,498.02. So you kind of beat me by a little bit in this category,
Pretty
but
much a
it's
tie.
it's one of those things where it was a really big gifting year, I think.
Yeah, it really was.
Just like family and functions and said this before, graduations and
Yeah.
all these, I don't know, family stuff.
I feel like as we're getting older, we're just prioritizing spending more of our budget in this category.
I feel like you naturally graduate the older you get into the roles that like the aunts and uncles had.
Yeah.
Because now you're the aunt and you're the uncle, right?
That's true. Also, Dennis had his 30th birthday this year, so I spent a lot of money in that time frame specifically as well. So
That's true.
I do predict that this will naturally go down next year a little bit in that way, although we're going to continue to be gift givers and
Yeah.
donators. So anyway, interesting category, big change from last year. Next up is clothing. This year I spent a total of $1,165.48 on clothes. What about you?
I spent $745.40 on clothes,
Mm-hmm.
which, if you remember last year, I only bought one item the
Yeah.
entire year. So I have no idea what I purchased like shoes and
Yeah.
a variety of different things, I guess, throughout the year.
Good point. For me, I
Yeah.
bought at least 4 new pairs of shoes this year. So that's a big part of it already.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think. I don't feel like I bought too many new clothes. Everything I bought was intentional. I feel good about it. But I'm going to try and bring that back down lower again next year.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that. Next up is travel. Travel, I spent a total of $1,085.06. What
I
about
spent
you?
a total of $830.74.
Yeah. So keep in mind, travel for us too is any personal expenses that don't come out of our separate travel funds for trips that we took. I
Exactly.
think all of my travel categories came from buying food when we were in Kenya at the very beginning of the year. So they were
Yeah.
all like first few weeks of January expenses.
Same for me.
Yeah, so nice. Same for you. Makes sense, actually. I guess we're on the trip together. Subscriptions, I spent $201.44 this year. That was just on Spotify, and maybe I bought a month of like Crave or something.
Wow, I spent $319.67. Now, I've been complaining about this for the past few weeks. Netflix prices they're just ridiculous at this point, you know?
You
And I'm
take
pretty
it for
sure
the
that's
household.
what the only subscription that I have,
Yeah, that's your only
and
one.
that's that's crazy.
Yeah, it's very expensive. You take that on for the household, though. So thank you. Then we have fitness. This year, I spent a total of $336.74 on fitness, which is less than in the past. I guess for a few different reasons, but that's what I ended up spending this year. So I'm happy that it's a little bit lower.
I spent $1,554.94 on fitness, and this is primarily being driven by the fact that I do pay for a monthly gym membership. Now, this is something I'm probably gonna have to reevaluate because at this point I haven't been to the gym in a while, so I'm basically just donating money to the gym.
Classic. I feel like that's the trend of what happened. Not for you, but for people.
Story of everyone's life,
Yeah.
right?
For me, the fitness comes from when we play basketball intramurals, which you also have on yours too, in general. Okay, next up, let's get to the next category, other. Other this year, I spent $931.28. And I feel like it's interesting to say what that was spent on too. We try every year to reduce what's going to be under the other category and make it more clear. But for me, it was like books. I bought some stuff at Staples, like the paper supply store. I got my driver's license renewed, Google Photo storage, things from Amazon. So stuff like that goes in the other category for me.
Nice. I spent $1,429.26. So similar story. You know, just the random things that end up coming out of, you know, not the other categories. They're just slotted into other.
Also for you, you had a few entertainment expenses that you threw into other, like comedy show tickets. And you don't have a separate home category like I created this year. So you had a few home expenses in your other one too. That's probably why it's different between the two of us. Okay, final few categories here. Next one is haircuts. For me, I spent a total of $1,175.05 in the haircut category this year. Yes, that is expensive. This year, that was on 2 appointments. One where I cut my hair but also dyed it, had a treatment done, all of that for about $800 and something. And then I went again and had another cut towards the end of the summer. Again, cut, treatment, toner, stuff like that. Yes, it's definitely expensive. No, you will not hear me say it's not expensive. It is, but it's something that I put in my budget.
Sounds like the salon business is the business to be in. I spent a total of $950 on haircuts. And yeah, I think this year I just went and got more haircuts. I was more consistent with it.
Yeah.
So typically for me, it's about every 2 weeks. So yeah, got more haircuts.
Not a big difference between. If I only did my one appointment, I would have spent less, but I didn't. So it doesn't count. Yeah, it doesn't count.
So you spent more.
Oh my God. Okay, home category. Like I said, I created a home category this year because I did a lot of home expenses in the beginning of the year, January, February, and I thought it'd be useful to actually track it and make it separate since it was bigger this year. I spent a total of $1,173.26. That was on a lot of stuff. We got brand new towels, both for the bathroom and the kitchen. We got a new shower curtain. I can't even remember it all now. A ton of stuff, glass bowls for the kitchen, tons of stuff. That was a big priority for me, so it came out of my budget. You, again, didn't have...
For me, my home stuff would have came out of my other category, so not actually captured in the same way.
So for you, home is zero, but you didn't actually spend zero on the home. You just put it in the other category. Next year, maybe we'll get you to put it in the home category.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. So on the other hand, let's split to an expense that I don't have is the engagement category. Now this is a hopefully one-time category to the budget just for this year. I of course spent $0 in this category, but this is a big chunk of your budget.
I spent a total of $7,753.20, and it was worth every penny.
Wow, I like that short and sweet explanation. And if you missed our videos breaking down how much that cost and where those expenses went, you can check those out too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time for us to give you guys both sets of results. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Okay, so this year in 2025, I spent $36,172.88.
Okay.
You spent in 2025 a total of $39,227.58.
Wow.
So you spent more money if you look at the totals this year. And it's the most, I think we've both, no, actually it's not the most we've both spent. Most you've spent.
Definitely the most I've spent ever.
Yeah, and we'll go back down next year. That's our goal. But if we look at the category comparison, so as we're going, who spent more? I spent more in, I think, 10 categories and you in 7. So I lost from that perspective this year. So there you go. It evens out.
Okay.
Do you do it that way?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I like it. You're impartial this year. Cool.
All right. Well, with that being said, that's literally everything we spent money on this year. So we literally told you exactly how much we spent and who spent more money. So next week, we'll be back with another video that covers everything that we made, including our year-end bonus that's actually coming up at the end of this month, how much we invested, and how much we saved in 2025. So if you're ready for that, make sure you stay tuned and we'll see you next week with another video.